Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about a conversation of a psychological, mental health, emotional health, and we bring about pro wrestling content. Of all points, pro wrestling from the old days back when it was decent, pro wrestling from the current stuff now that it's not, all points in between. This is the January 21st, 1990 edition of Wrestling Challenge and Review Series. Roddy Piper facing off against Bob Bradley. Very basic match. Piper with punches and kicks and a sleeper hold runs about 2.5 minutes, and Piper is ready for that day's Royal Rumble. Of course, the third Royal Rumble in history, of course, starting in 1988. And ultimately leading to a pretty basic run there. Uh, Greg Valentine promising in the special report area that he is going to completely eradicate the wrestling world of Ronnie Garvin. Garvin, not having any of that, promises to take Valentine out and break the Hammer Jammer. Brutus Beefcake promising to take care of the Genius on the heels of the wars that he's had with the Genius as part of Saturday Night's Main Event and Mr. Perfect over the previous little while. We move to the tag team match here. Lynn Wagner and Butch Stanley facing off against none other than the new tag team champions with Bobby the Brain Heenan, Haku, and Andre the Giant. Andre, of course, basically getting a thank you run for all he'd done for the company over the years. Haku staying in and punch, kick, chops, and other basic maneuvers in a simple form to the best of his ability in a basic maneuver. And Haku managing to do what he can where he can, flips the man over and gets a very basic diving headbutt, among other things, in order there. We then go to the back kick, and ultimately the enhancement talents get eliminated. The Demolition, who'd been defeated just a few weeks before on Superstars of Wrestling, getting rid of things there, and the Jake Roberts and $1 Million Man series continues. They're hyping that for upcoming house shows. Rick the Model Martel facing off against his adversary. Martel, of course, having turned heel at WrestleMania 5 just a few months before, and facing off Martel, doing the cartwheel thing. Actually, the model gimmick probably, for a lot of people, their most prolific acknowledgement of Martel, although that isn't how he is best known for the WWF. That's where he's known. During the bout, Martel cuts a to write home about here. Boston Crab, of course, gets the victory for the model here in 1990, kicking off the year. We move to the basic maneuvers here, basic instructions before leaving Earth, so to speak, and ultimately kind of running into a pretty basic maneuver here, getting things going in a relatively good direction, and ultimately leading things to go in a very basic maneuver there. We kind of get things going in a, what some people may consider a hold pattern as we move through the upcoming matches here. Martel, obviously, getting ready for a feud with British Beefcake. The Royal Rumble report is upcoming as well. Royal Rumble report, pretty simple, talking about the changes that come with the Royal Rumble. Dusty Rhodes with Sapphire has an enhancement match here. Rhodes hasn't been there too long. Enhancement opponent tries to pound away on Dusty. Dusty hits the elbows to the top of the head, double double fists and the like, and it's a pretty basic series of things here as it relates to Dusty being in control for the majority of the time. Dusty also manages to get the victory pretty quickly, defeating John Justice 221. Bionic elbow drop during the bout. Sapphire cuts an insert promo saying she's excited to be a guest on the Brother Love show at the Royal Rumble. Of course, setting up the mixed tags with Sherry and Savage versus Dusty and Sapphire. They go around the horn for the next little while, including the culmination at WrestleMania 6. The Big Boss Man with Slick defeats Terry Bronson, 156. Sidewalk Slam. During the bout, Boss Man cuts an insert promo about facing Jim Duggan at the Royal Rumble. Sliding uppercut, the big kick, and the sidewalk slam from the Boss Man. Boss Man handcuffs his opponent to the top rope and beats him with a nightstick post the match, as he is often wont to do. We then move to the nature that is kind of going forward here. Boss Man obviously does the intimidation thing, and then we move into the interview podium with Gene Okerlund. Okerlund bringing out the Ultimate Warrior. Warrior says that he is going to win the Royal Rumble. He's ready to eliminate 28 men, and then acknowledges having to go head-to-head with Hulk Hogan, kind of teasing that right before the Rumble on that day. The Rockers say that they are aware that they may have to face each other. They don't really seem to care about that. The Canadian Earthquake wonders who is going to take him over the top rope at the Royal Rumble at over 400 pounds. Then we move to a tag team match, Warlord and Barbarian, before they've split up, the tag team of the Powers of Pain. Moving forward into things here, and they are pretty assertive, aggressive against their opponents for the day, which happened to be the enhancement team of none other than Reno Riggins and Mike Powell. 154, Mr. Fuji on the outside with them. They cut an inset on the Royal Rumble. Shoulder tackle and big kick from the Barbarian, basically flying clothesline. Warlord uses some other power moves, and it's pretty basic to see that the Powers of Pain still in control here in the early part of 1990. We will be back with more right after this.